Welcome to Cage Minds. I'm Micah Frankel, and I am talking with Josh Copeland today ahead of BKFC 50. Going to be back in his neck of the woods, getting a fight repping Denver, Colorado. You live there, you train there. How nice is it to be fighting up there?
Hey, I love fighting in front of my home crowd, and I did it a lot as amateur and early on in my pro career, and uh, then I didn't fight here for quite a while. To now, it's nice to come back and give all my friends, family a show.
You're one of the guys I think of when I remember seeing kind of the beginnings of Sparta Combat League. What does it mean to you to see where they've went, how they've still grown over this last decade since you've competed with them?
Yeah, man. They Jeff Cisneros and his wife or ex-wife Becca now, but man, they've always been great to me, and yeah, I've definitely delight in their success.
But we're here to talk about bare knuckle, going to be your third time in a row stepping into the squared circle. Is this becoming a full-time career move, a change from MMA to bare knuckle?
Hey, I mean, they're treating me well, they're paying me well, and um, I actually enjoy bare knuckles. So yeah, it's it's definitely, as of right now, it's my new home.
Has there been a combat sport that you haven't enjoyed?
No, man, it's all fun from learning boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, jujitsu. It's fun, and it's crazy how as you learn them all, they're all the same. Like everything is about timing and angles. And yeah, you start to understand timing and angles. It it works.
Everything's fun in its own way. What's been the particular uniqueness to bare knuckle?
Uh I think for me, it's almost like bare knuckle fit into my MMA style. Like I didn't grow up wrestling, so I wasn't the wrestler to take people down and hold them down. I've done jujitsu the longest, but I definitely learned having a 265-pound man on top of me trying to punch my lights out, and it's exhausting. So I definitely learned uh, just more my style is wrestling defense to keep the fight on my feet, to throw my hands. And I was never much of a kicker, anyways. I got short legs, and so don't want to get caught them catch my kick and then the easy takedown. So I just wouldn't kick, and I'd move and try to punch them in the face.
And in this sport, you've done a lot of punching in the face. And after one fight that was not such a big name recognition wise, you've just dove into the deep end of the division. Ben Rothwell, last time we see you, this time, Steve Herelius, a former cruiserweight boxing world champion in his own right. How intriguing and what has the challenge been like for you taking on these kind of names now in bare knuckle?
I I mean, for me, I like the competition. It's I believe in myself. I know what I can do. I've trained with some of the best in the world for many years, and I know that I can compete with them. So for me, it's like I get opportunities to fight a Ben Rothwell. Um, I'm taking it. So, and plus, I'm 40 years old. It's like I'm not here trying to fight bums. I believe in myself, and I'd rather go down fighting a big name and lose, at least try.
Do you look back? Have you spent much time watching the last fight back? Rothwell, you had a spectacular first round in there. How much have you looked back and tried to gain from that fight?
Uh, there's a few things that I would change, but man, at the end of the day, I went out there and I gave it my best, and came up short, and that's life. So um, I just get back to it, keep training, and get better.
Were there things that you took away from that one, and was it learning in the moment, I guess.
I'm not that deep of a thinker, I would say. So yeah, I'm good, man. I don't know.
You get back to the gym, you get the call for this fight. Is it about just having a solid camp and getting the good vibes going to get back to what you're doing rather than tweaking things that you do?
For sure, man. I've seen so many different styles and right-handed, left-handed, this and that, and I'm prepared for whatever. So I know Steve's gonna move like no other. Just because we are all unique, I'm gonna move like someone he's never seen before, even though he's got tons of boxing experience. Um, but it's to me, it's whoever's going to be able to learn and figure out the puzzle on the other person first. It'll be good.
At least looking at Steve, do you feel like you could size up that because he's a boxer, it's gonna be a less heavily influence on the clinch than your last fight?
Uh, I would say usually I'm good in the clinch.
Well, that he
Just,
would want to stay out of it.
I mean, I watched his first fight and they were in the clinch quite a bit. So, um, and I saw Steve get tired a little bit in the third round. I thought he was fading. And then that fourth round, he came back. That fifth round, he came out throwing too. So um, the guy's got heart, and I'm I'm excited for the challenge.
When it's somebody that has that world championship pedigree that's been in big fights like that, is his experience and that ability you said to bounce back, recover in between rounds, is that one of the things that you have to be, I guess, most aware of that you can't rely because he looks like he's being at the end of the round, that he's still going to be being at the beginning of the next?
Man, I'm not too worried about that. I just know, I mean, go out there and get my setups, make my reads, and try to capitalize and keep my fingers crossed and hope it's good enough.
Is there anything in those years that you've had of fighting now that you feel like is a recipe to have a good fight day for you? Because I know some guys can, the wake up, the feel off. Have you gotten like a rhythm for how you want your fight day to go?
Not really. I'm easy going. I wake up, try to keep my mind off things, enjoy the friends and family, and then a few hours before we got to be at the venue, I'll go hang out with my coaches and just kind of laugh and keep the mind off things and show up to the venue and it's time to go.
How long before you go out there do you like to warm up? And are you a heavy warm up guy, a light warm up guy? Some people like to have a full sweat on. Where are you at in that?
Well, I sweat pretty easy. I'm actually sweating right now, but man, I do enjoy a good warm up. Um, I think it is important to get that first wind out of the way, and yeah, that's I'm pretty easy going there too, though.
I'm not trying to put Josh Copeland under the lights here, making him sweat and stuff. Sorry if the questions are coming at you heavy, sir.
No, you're good. I love it.
Co-main event, your neck of the woods. Gotta ask, do you appreciate the hometown setting? Would you rather go on the road? Is there a difference to you?
Um, I've traveled a lot. There's always pros and cons. It's good to fight outside the state, just so you show up a few days earlier. Start getting your mindset right. You don't have the distractions of family and having to be here or do that. I got a little 10-year-old boy, and so those are nice. But man, it's also good to be here, sleep in my own bed, be able to wake up. I I know where all my favorite places to eat are, and yeah, it's so. I mean, pros and cons, no matter which way you go.
Oh, well, just for some of us media members going to be heading up that way, do we get some suggestions, recommendations here on where to go get some food?
I'm I'm a meat eater, so I enjoy Mongolian barbecue, steaks. Um, it's Colorado. I don't know that they're really known for that much, but you put a good ribeye, perfectly cooked, medium rare, salt and pepper, and I got a big smile on my face. Unless it's too small, it's got to be 20 ounces or bigger. But uh, yeah, any smaller than that, it just teases you.
A meal fit for a cuddly bear. Who was the one that coined that nickname? Where did that directly come from?
It's from do you know Trevor Whitman?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so Trevor, we were heading back from wrestling practice from Boulder, driving back to Denver, and we were carpooling together. And he told me, he's like, Josh, we got to come up with a nickname for you. And I've always been the firm believer that you don't give yourself your own nickname. And uh, I told Trevor, I'm like, well, every time I step on the mats with Alvin Robinson to do jujitsu, and Alvin was one of Hoist Gracie's first black belts. Um, every time I'd step on the mats, Alvin would be like, "Oh, here comes the bear," and I never liked that. I told Trevor that uh, the bear sounds too intimidating or too mean. Doesn't represent me. I'm more like a cuddly bear. And Trevor just started laughing, and he's like, "Dude, that's perfect. You're the cuddly bear." So from that, it kind of stuck from that day forward.
See, I had to hear that story. I had to know where we got such an epic nickname from. Before I let you go, sir, what do you feel are some of the key things that you need to do to get that victory come September 22nd?
I'll say patience, footwork, timing, and angles. Yeah, Steve's good. He's got fast hands. I've been watching him, and I got to control that range, be smart, make my reads, and try to capitalize.
Josh, again, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking some time out to talk to me.
Hey, I appreciate you, and God bless.
God bless. You have a good evening. Everyone, cageminds.com is the website. Cage Minds across your social media, and be on the lookout for a couple new podcasts and series that we have in the works.